The team's flagship project is management initiative is the Hampton Roads Green Book that I'm looking forward to Mr. Seko telling us a little bit more about that initiative. And I would like to welcome Mr. Seko to the Black Business Network.
Hey, salute, Queen. Salute to everyone checking in. I see we have some of the code keepers in the spot. Salute to Emmanuel. Hey, love being here. I love what's happening. I'm just so honored that I was chosen to be a part of it. Thank you.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And listen, we're going to get into this amazing time together. Tell us, give us a little snapshot, and we're going to dive a little deeper into your business and what you do.
Well, our firm, Positive Vibes Consulting, is a consulting firm that really focuses on helping businesses be prepared to scale, right? So, that might deal with funding, that might deal with credit, that might deal with project management. And then we also provide services to the community. And our flagship, as you just mentioned, is the Hampton Roads Green Book. So I'm really excited about the Hampton Roads Green Book because it solves a problem. A lot of times businesses come in because they have an idea, but businesses really work the best when they solve problems. So in America, we have a problem. And in the Black community in America, however you define yourself, however you want to define yourself, but our community in America has a problem that really developed toward the end of the 1950s, the mid 1960s. And that issue is resource circulation. And so think of it this way. Your body has blood in it, right? And it circulates throughout most of your body, right? So, hey, salute, Emmanuel. If your blood stops circulating, you would have some issues. Think about it. If your breath, which is a respiratory system, it's circular, it's spiral. If your breath stops circulating, you're going to have some problems. In our community, our resources have stopped circulating, and not necessarily because of that, but it can be a big piece of the problems that we're having in the community. So when we look at resource circulation, we can look at some of our peers. So in the Black community, our resources, our money, our resources circulate one time, right? In our Latino community, our resources circulate 6 times. In the Asian community, the resources in America, in the Asian American community, the resources circulate 9 times. In the general white community, it circulates the money, the resources circulate so infinitely that it's hard to even measure. Now, here's something that we know. In areas where there's low circulation of resources, we have higher crime, we have higher poverty, we have higher preventable diseases, right? And we have lower income. In areas where there is high resource circulation, there's higher income, there's lower poverty, lower crime, and lower preventable diseases. So I'm not saying this is a panacea and it's going to fix everything. But I do know that in areas where there's higher resource circulation, there's lower poverty, there's lower crime, there's higher income. So I say let's resource and let's circulate our resources a lot stronger and longer. So our flagship project right now, the Hampton Roads Green Book, does just that. It's a online resource directory of our businesses, organizations, and professionals. So we can make sure that we can at least consider to spend our resources with our people first. Now, the Hampton Roads Green Book is slightly unique because it spotlights Black-owned businesses. It also highlights women-owned, veteran-owned, other minority-owned, and we allow anyone to really get a listing. but we put a big spotlight on our businesses because we realize, like Dr. King says, as we solve the problems that affect us, if we do it in a way that will get others on our back, we're going to have to deal with that problem along with the problems that we're facing. Now, I'm just paraphrasing Dr. King. He said it more eloquently, but his challenge to us was, as we deal and address the problems in our community, we have to do it in a way where it doesn't bring other problems.
Yes.
All right. So the Hampton Roads Green Book Directory spotlights our businesses, our professionals, our organization. So if you're looking for a fraternity, sorority, you can find the links to those in our Hampton Roads area there. And this is just for the Hampton Roads area. Hampton Roads is Chesapeake, Hampton, Norfolk, Newport News, Portsmouth, Suffolk, and Virginia Beach, Virginia. It also includes Williamsburg. Peace to Nikki. It also includes Yorktown. We kind of let them hang out with us, right? So it's really the 7 cities, but it's really our region is 9 areas, 9 cities. So we focus on our businesses in our 9 cities, right? And the great thing is, now that we have a repository where we can find each other, we can also make sure that our mental resources circulate as well. In other words, I have a business, I have an entertainment business, and let's say your son wants to become an entertainer. Well, now your son has an opportunity to do some work with my firm, right? Right. There's an internship that we can develop for you. And so it's not just circulating the money, it's circulating the opportunities. It's also coming together to do work on projects together. So 10 businesses come together and they invest in an 11th business that supports all the 10 businesses. That's the type of work that we're working on with the Hampton Roads Green Book. So right now it's just for Hampton Roads area, and that's going to be our strong focus. But for the world, for the rest of the United States, our secondary flagship product is the Generational Flip docu-series. So we have
listen, you're getting ahead of yourself, because I got some questions for you. Listen, let's jump into this fireside chat, and we're gonna dig a little deeper. Okay. So tell me this. What are some of the steps? We've talked about what the greatest thing is about solving problems. Businesses that solve problems are more successful. We talked about circulating our dollars within our communities. We talked about supporting Black-owned business with, the Black Business Network is all about that. So we talked about some things that align with what it is that we do on this platform. But I want to walk our listeners and our audience through a series of questions. What are the steps to gaining and maintaining wealth so that it can be transferred? Yes.
Great question.
I got something for you.
Great
all
question.
Right.
Right. And that actually leads into what I was talking about with our second flagship. So we've created a documentary mixtape series called Generational Flip.
Okay.
And the idea is this generation can do something very different from previous generations so that we solve the problems that have continued to face us, right?
Yes.
So we can do something, we can do a generational flip. In episode 1 of Generational Flip, which can be found on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and type in Generational Flip, you're going to find the Black Business Expo on YouTube as well. But I also want you to find Generational Flip. So go to YouTube, use your fingers, and you'll find Generational Flip. Episode 1 has our mentor, A. Donahue Baker, who's talking. And he gives a mini workshop on the 6 steps to generational wealth. And they're so simplistic, but they are so eye-opening. So the first step that he says, and this kind of throws some people because some people really haven't developed the mindset that they can achieve, which is one of the reasons why we have the documentary mixtape series, because it mixes investment information with mindset building concepts so that you're continually doing professional development with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Number one in his list is to become a thousandaire.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he defines that as somebody who within business or their job even is able to have $100,000 year.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have $100,000 year, according to A. Donahue Baker, you're no longer, unless you're silly, living paycheck to paycheck. And sometimes we're silly with our resources.
Mm-hmm.
That happens. You know, we all go through some silly moments. But number one is becoming a thousandaire. And so what he's saying to us is no matter what field you're in, like, you know, I do some work in education. If there's a cap, if there's a salary cap, what he teaches is if there's a salary cap in your field, you have to do something else so you can get to that point where you're making $100,000 a year. When you're making $100,000 per annum, you're really in a position where you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck.
So
go ahead.
So would you say that the reason why is being a thousandaire important? So from your statement, you're saying that's important because you're no longer will be living from paycheck to paycheck. Why is being a thousandaire important?
That's the reason why, because once we stop living from struggle to struggle.
Yes.
All right. Once we stop living in the struggle land,
yes,
we can take our resources and use them in a way that's going to build for our future. While we're still in struggle land, we got to worry about today.
Yes.
You know, there's bills to pay today.
Yes.
You got to feed the kids today.
Yes.
But once we reach a certain level, most of us now, a thousandaire, you know, being $100,000 a year, it may need to be $2,000 a year, 200,000 for some people. It may have to be 50,000 for other people, but his general number is 100,000 because that's the point when we don't have to really focus on just today. We can really start building for tomorrow.
Yes.
And then,
no. Yes, listen, you just sparking some things. So if these sparks fly, I need you to stay right in that artery because I want everybody to get what they need to get in that vein right there, right? And so tell me this, is it possible for, is becoming a thousandaire possible for everybody?
Yes. Will everybody do it? No.
Well, if I can't,
so that's the challenge.
No, but it's possible. It's not that everybody won't do it, but how about for those people who don't know how to do it? So it's possible. So is there a roadmap? Because I'm not. Some people are not 100 air. You know what I'm saying? So in scaling, as you mentioned before, in scaling. How do we get our people to mindset shift, to get off the struggle bus and get on another level of thinking to become a thousandaire? If you say it's possible for everyone,
it's possible for everyone, and the challenge is, if you want more, you got to do more.
Yeah.
All right. So it could be that simple. So let's say that you're a firefighter. Well, your firefighter, you're going to be salary capped maybe $85,000 a year. So you got to do something else that's going to bring in $15,000 a year. Let's say you're a teacher, you're salary capped at maybe $60,000 a year. Now you got to do something else that's going to bring you in $40,000 a year. All of us can do something else. Do we want to do it? Most of us don't. Is it possible to do it? Yes. Will it be beneficial for us to do it? Yes. Can we be a blessing to others if we do it? Yes. Is anything stopping us from doing it? In most cases, no.
Okay.
So
if
I'm going to give step 1 and I'm going to give step 6 if you want to go to YouTube and watch the other steps, because it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard. The way he instructs these 6 steps is a very hard pill to swallow,
but it's doable.
We wrap it with some mindset things so that it makes it going down a little easier. Number 6. Once we've achieved wealth. And the way to achieve wealth is buying wealth building assets. That's pretty
Uh-huh.
much it. All right.
Uh-huh.
If you buy something that's more valuable tomorrow than it is today, or 5 years down the road, because things go up and down sometimes, but buying and getting control of assets is his main strategy. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so once you have those assets, number 6 is using the tools that are out there to make sure that even when you pass on,
Mm-hmm.
that what you pass on can be managed in a way that will continue building more assets for those who are behind you. And there are a lot of ways to do that. It could be, wills. It could be trusts. It could be the proper strategic use of life insurance. There are actually, family banks. There are he has about 15 to 20 strategies that he talks about, that if you use those strategies, once you acquire, now you can make sure it maintains. And we look at some of the families who've maintained in America. We look at the Rockefellers, when we look at families like the Hoovers, they've been able to do that.
Yeah, no, yes, but
Right.
it was something that was passed down generation to generation. What we
That's
find,
the point.
Yeah. But sometimes we don't pass it early enough. We pass it when we're gone. I tell my children, I said, I want to give you a portion of your inheritance while I'm alive to teach you how to manage it. But I'm going to go to this question. Why is a wealth building mindset important? And it speaks to what we're talking about. A wealth building mindset important to your content, and even to have the desired results, our reactions, of change, I would say, in the mindsets of the people who even sit down and look at the documentary. You understand? Why is it important that our mindset shift in order to make these things happen?
The importance of a mindset shift is because the importance is simply this. Once you understand and believe it, then you can move on and achieve it. It's really that simple. I know that sounds woo-woo. That sounds like some fake stuff. But the truth is, once you understand and believe it, then you can move up and do some different things than you're doing now. So, for instance, when we look at toddlers are carried. We carry children, and then we, put them on the floor and they start crawling, and they see there's a way to ambulate. And they try to get up and then they fall. They try to get up and they walk 1 or 2 steps and then they fall. What would happen if they got the belief the first time that they felt that they would not be able to walk? The good thing is children don't get that, right? They don't get that failure mentality at that age. So they're able to get up and try again, And now you can run, you can dance, you can do capoeira, you can do everything because you didn't give up. You saw it being done. You understood that there was an ability to ambulate, and you believed that you could achieve it. If you didn't, you'd still be crawling.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't, people would still have to carry you around. So having that mindset, content, that professional development, that's going to keep your mind focused, renewing your mind, like some of the texts talk about. That allows you to understand what's ahead of you, gives you the opportunity to start believing, even if you're a little fearful,
do it scared.
I'm a little fearful, but I'm going to do it anyway because I believe I can achieve it, So however you want to look at it. But once you have that mindset shift, you move to another level. And the funny thing is, the God, the universe, however you want to look at it, we're going to get the same problems over and over and over until we figure out how to deal with them. And once we know how to deal with them, we're going to get some different problems, but we're not going to be burdened by that original problem.
Yes.
Right.
And you duplicate the process because every problem there is a solution. So the minds have to shift. If you are successful in solving one problem, it gives you the bandwidth to know that you can solve the next one.
I think I should be asking you these questions.
Stop it. No, you're the authority on this. I'm just saying I agree. I agree, and I will fan the flames, and I'm in Atlanta. So, and it needs to be worldwide in all of our communities. So I salute you in this, and I will be looking at the documentaries. I'm a forever learner, but this is about you right now. So listen.
All right. Right.
Yeah, no,
well,
seriously.
Hey, salute that. And salute to you and all the ATL. My mother's family is from ATL. I was just there spending time with my Aunt Ada. So I love ATL, and I love the fact that you agree, because if you agree and I agree, there's somebody else who didn't really agree at first who's like, well, if they're touching and agreeing, if they believe that they can do some things that they weren't able to do last week, maybe I can too.
Yes, because there's strength in numbers and there's power in agreement. So, but so in making the shift and knowing how big the mindset piece play in this, where does financial literacy come in at? I want to ask you what does wealth building have to do with financial concerns and financial literacy? We'll get into it. Is it just a buzzword, or how does your stuff connect with the concept of financial literacy? If that
It does. I like the question, and I like the reason behind the question.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that I'm in, the way that I'm understanding the question is that financial literacy has become much of a buzzword.
Yes.
Right. So sometimes when things get too popular, we discount them.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. When things get too popular, they go down in price. They go down in perceived value. Right. Right. Because we have this supply and demand thing going on. Right.
Yes.
Right. Well, here's the beautiful thing about it. Mm-hmm. Even though the word is becoming more popular, we need to make sure that the action becomes more popular. We need to make sure that the literacy itself in finance becomes popular. And there's so many areas in finance. There's so many. So we really never truly become financially literate. It's a work in progress.
Yes.
Right? It's truly a work in progress. In episode 4 of the documentary series Generational Flip, our guru, Larry Pendleton, talks about notes. Now, I never knew that you could invest in notes, but I knew you could invest in notes. Let me show you what I mean. So my wife and I bought a house, right?
Yes.
And 2 months after we bought the house, we got a letter saying that the loan was sold to an investor, and the investor was So I heard investor, and I thought bank. Oh, it got sold to another bank. It got sold to an investor. About a year later, the interest rates went down and people were refinancing out the wazoo. And that investor reached out to us through a letter, like 2 or 3 letters, and we ignored them, right? And then we got a phone call from the investor saying, hey, I sent you some letters. This is what we want you to do. If you stick with us and just say that you're going to sign this promissory note that you're going to stick with us for the next 3 years, we're going to reduce your interest rate for 3 years. Absolutely. All day. Right? Right. That happened easily 15, 20 years ago, right? 15 years ago, easily 15 years ago. Now I realize that investor bought our mortgage from the bank. We were paying Bank of America, but the money went to the investor.
Yes.
I never knew that you could do that. And now, because of episode 4, I've learned that you can do that I can do that with your, code keepers, everyone who's watching. Yes. I can do that with your credit card debt. I can do that with your medical debt. I can do that with your property. I can do that with your house. Anything that has a note, people can buy them and profit from them. And you buy the notes at a discount So
Uh-huh.
this is not normal financial literacy stuff.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
blew my
You know,
mind when he was talking about this. I was like, what?
listen. Stop
What?
playing. Stop playing. Listen. No. Because that's why that's why I like to call it. We all have some, to your point, measure of financial literacy. Either you're good at it or you're not, but you have some, right? I like to call it financial intelligence. This is financial
Cool.
intelligence. Financial intelligence moves you beyond literacy. I know how much stuff costs. I know the value of the to now knowing how to leverage it, what to do with it, because you can get it and not know what to do with it. You're literate, but you don't have the intelligence necessary to grow it and to keep it and to multiply it.
Now, along with that intelligence, you have to have a belief and understanding that others have done it before you.
Yes.
Right. So
yes.
that's where the mindset shift, the mindset component comes in.
Yes.
Because we're going to give you some new information. It might not be new to everybody. It was new to me. Blew my mind. Right.
Uh-huh.
We're going to give you some information, some financial literacy to add to your growing library of literacy. But we also need to show you that it works. We need to show you the ups and downs. And then we need to make sure you're wrapped in information that tells you, hey, you can achieve this. This is not beyond your measure.
Yes.
Hey, you're good enough. Hey, this is something that's going to be beneficial. So we combine the financial intelligence, using your term, and the mindset, professional development, mindset shift content. Absolutely. So that you can believe it, you can understand it, and now you know what to do with it.
So let me give
you another example. Let me give you another example.
Come on with it. Because
there's this queen. There's this
Yeah.
queen, and I have to say she's a Hamptonian. I'm a Hamptonian, so proud Hampton University graduate, right? So salute all the HBCU, salute whatever, whatever you can. Hey, salute your elementary school, salute that, But this Hamptonian, Angel Rich. Now, her name alone is dope.
Yeah.
Angel Rich.
No, see, Mom
that's like
was
manna from the heavens, right?
She was thinking about generational wealth when she had her. Yeah, when she named her, she would think about consider that. Consider.
Her parents did her well. They were thinking, did her really well. Now, one of the things that Angel talks about is how her mother, specifically, she talks about her father as well, but the example I'm going to give now is just primarily around her mother. Her mother taught her the idea that you can form your mind in the direction you want your mind to go. And she gives an example of being in Jersey and it was cold and they didn't have the things they needed to get warm. And because of what their mother taught them, the Angel was able to warm herself by use of visualization. And by doing so, she was able to say, hey, I'm warm. I'm in Jamaica now. Everyone else is out there freezing and she's in Jamaica and she's in the same place they are.
Wow. Yeah. That's wow.
So let me also drop a gem on this. Angel, when I met her a few years ago, talked about her business. When I got a chance to interview her for the documentary series Generational Flip, her business was valued at 1.5 billion, letter B, second letter, $1.5 billion. It is now, and that was 3 years ago, right around from the numbers that she's showing, right around 4.55 billion. She's partnered with Visa. She's partnered with FICO. This queen is on fire.
Wow.
And she's built her firm is called Credit Rich, and they are a neo-tech bank, and they do other things that deal with finance, credit. It's a whole shebang. She does a much better selling it, but she didn't have to sell it to us. She sold it and partnered with Visa.
Yeah. So that's a no-brainer. In financial intelligence, you don't even question. It is your strategic partnerships and alliances that give you the credibility that we on the literacy bus. Need to just, like you said, there's nothing new. People have done things before. We are to glean and grow and learn from them, from the path that they set before us. So, man, listen, this has been invaluable. That takes us right to this space. We talked about financial literacy being a buzzword, and we kind of put some value to it, regardless to the spins that's on it, right? But generational wealth has also become a buzzword. And judging from this conversation, I'm not going to even ask, is it important? Because I think that would. But it is so important that just like the mom trained the child to think a certain way and manifest it, right? Generational wealth, as we need to look at the documentary and empower ourselves with information, knowing we have the ability to achieve anything that we pursue. But this generational wealth, it's how can we obtain it? How can we obtain it in the current state that we are in? Mind shift is one of them. Becoming financially literate or intelligent is another one. But how do you have it and be able to transfer it?
Okay. I'm going to give you the forest answer. We're not going to go into the trees and the weeds right now, because everybody's situation and everybody's approach is going to be different. Generational wealth is so important that you'll find it in religious text. You'll find it in religious text. In the Hebrew, the Jewish community, there are texts that tell those followers how to use their resources so it can be passed down from generation to generation to generation. In the canonized Bible, there's a phrase, and I'm not going to be able to quote it perfectly, but it talks about making sure that a wise person leaves an inheritance for his children's children's children. So you can find it in Islam. It's in the Quran. It's in some of the teachings that you'll find in Ifa. If you study religious texts, you'll find that there's this concept of passing on something to people that you'll never see, who will benefit from the blessings of Abraham, or blessings of whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? So it's so important that it was written in most of the religious texts that are available. That's how important that is. So, all right, how can it be done? Wealth is built by gaining assets that become more valuable over time and provide you with income over time. So however you do that, that could be with a business, that could be with real estate, it could be with stocks, that could be with a lot of different ways. The way that this family did it is a little different than the way this family did it.
Yes.
But they found something that was valuable. They gained control of it. They were able to get that valuable thing to continue to give them income. And they were able to put it in a vehicle that provided income for people behind them. And that's the high concept, right?
Yes.
That's the forest answer.
So
how do you do that on the individual version? Everybody's approach might be a little different. But here's the deal. Those platforms, those strategies are plentiful.
Yes.
You just got to get the plentiful assets so you can use those strategies.
And you have to, and would you say that you have to get in the space where people are having these kinds of conversations so that you can be exposed to knowledge in order to make different decisions? And wealth is built, one thing you said specifically, over time. wealth is a delayed gratification. There is some right now benefits, but when you're looking at an investment, you're not looking at a right now. Everything is so right now, that sometimes we're taking the gains before we really see the rewards. So it's a delayed gratification. Would you say?
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that it's important to teach those who are behind us. The ability to delay gratification.
Yes.
Those who learn that do a far better job of investing than those who don't.
Yes.
Those who learn that do better in the educational system than those who haven't learned that. Those who learn that do better on the playground.
Not the playground.
On the playground.
Yes, absolutely.
And those who understand that do better in the club.
I don't know about that right there. Listen, can you tell the world?
Can I get your number so I can call you?
Yeah.
Not tonight.
Yeah.
But in 2 days.
Okay, listen. I want you to tell us how to get in contact with you. Tell the world how to get in contact with you and how to get connected to the videos.
All right. Well, the great thing is right now the videos are available on YouTube. So if you go to our channel is called Our Black Empowerment. It also has Get On Code. So my particular podcast is called Get On Code. Our code is empowerment. So we try to focus only on empowerment. So Get On Code, Our Black Empowerment. If you find that channel on YouTube, or if you just type in Generational Flip, you'll find either the videos or the audiobook. And if you're an audiobook person, you can listen to the audiobook version. If you're not, if you're not, you can watch the videos. You can also go to generationalflip.com. So our website is generationalflip.com. With the Hampton Roads Green Book, I talked about that earlier. That's just if you live in the Hampton Roads area. So 2 up and 2 down for everybody in the 757. You can find the Hampton Roads Green Book in your app store. So if you're Team Apple or if you're Team Android, you can find.
Listen. I'm telling you, genius is coming, and I'm going to see you on the other side.